On February 11, 1858, in the grotto of Massabile, in Lourdes, the Blessed Virgin appeared to Bernadette Soubirous, 14 years old, an illiterate peasant, in precarious health and very poor, who that day had gone to collect firewood along the riverbed of the Gave de Pau. She was the first of a cycle of 18 Marian apparitions, which would conclude on July 16, and which contained a strong call to conversion, anticipation of the Mario Fanny to the 3 shepherd children of Fatima. I saw a lady dressed in white. She was wearing a white dress, a white veil, a blue waist and a yellow rose on each foot, Bernadette will say of her first vision. The astonished girl, seeing the lady make the sign of the cross, recited the rosary. The Virgin, without revealing her identity yet, made a gesture for Bernadette to come closer. Overcoming the initial opposition of the parents, the girl returned to the grotto 3 days later and poured holy water on the vision. The lady smiled and bowed her head. At her third apparition, the Virgin spoke to her for the first time, "I do not promise to make you happy in this world, but in the other." And she added, "Do you want to come here?" For 15 days. Meanwhile, the news of the apparitions spread and the number of people accompanying Bernadette to the grotto grew. On February 21, Commissioner Jacomet questioned her harshly, to which he replied that he had seen Aquaro, that one there. At her 8th appearance, the lady entrusted the girl with a crucial message: penance. Penance? Penance? Pray to God for sinners? Go kiss the earth in penance for sinners. February 25. At the request of the woman dressed in white, Bernadette dug with her hands in the muddy ground. After some effort, she found a spring of water that had been announced to her. "Go drink at the fountain and wash yourself," the Virgin had told her, inviting her to eat the grass by the spring as an act of penance for sinners. Many took Bernadette for crazy. 3 days later, Judge Rebes threatened to throw her in prison, but those present at the apparitions increased, and at the 13th meeting another heavenly request arrived: "Tell the priests to come here in procession and build a chapel." Bernadette referred her words to the parish priest of Lourdes, Dominique Peyramali, who, incredulous about her visions, told the girl that he demanded a precise sign and wanted to know the name of her mistress. On March 25, the day of the Annunciation, the Virgin joined her hands in prayer, raised her eyes to heaven and in the Gascon dialect, the only language familiar to Bernadette, told her, "I am the Immaculate Conception." It was the title that the Church had dogmatically defined just 4 years before. For fear of forgetting those words, Bernadette ran to the priest, and throughout the journey she continually spoke them in a low voice. "I am the Immaculate Conception," she repeated at last to Peyramali. The stern priest, knowing that the girl did not know the catechism and that she was ignorant of that theological definition, was impressed, and in a short time he became a great defender of the veracity of the apparitions, which, after careful investigation by the Diocesan Commission, were officially recognized in 1862 with a pastoral letter signed by the Bishop of Tarbes. Meanwhile, the first miraculous healings had already taken place and numerous conversions. Like the one on April 7, during the penultimate apparition, known as the Miracle of the Candle, the skeptical Dr. Dozes, attracted by the astonishment of the people, observed that the flame of the candle that Bernadette was holding in her hand enveloped her skin without burn it. He timed the event for about 10 minutes, and at the end of the ecstasy he found that the girl did not show any signs of burning. The doctor believed. But, as with any authentic celestial manifestation, the skepticism continued. Many secularist newspapers and intellectuals mocked the events of Lourdes. False accusations were launched to discredit the apparitions, which occurred in full positivism, a movement that excluded any reflection on the supernatural, advocating a materialistic vision of man. However, God, who confuses the wise men of the world and exalts the humble, like Saint Bernadette, who from the age of 22 until the day of her death lived in Nevers in the convent of the Sisters of Charity, has never stopped granting thanks to the faithful who go to Lourdes. To date, of more than 7,000 declared healings, more than 2,000 have been declared inexplicable and 70 have been recognized as miraculous by the Church, miracles that are declared only after a careful examination, the result of the profound analysis and documentation that provided by the Medical Bureau, that is, the Office of Medical Verification. The last unexpected and recognized miraculous cure, which occurred on July 11, 2008 and was officially announced on February 11, 2018, refers to Sister Bernadette Moria, who for a long time, for decades, he suffered from severe paralysis caused by the horse's tail syndrome. without forgetting that the greatest grace is the conversion of the soul, and, among all, we must remember that of the then agnostic Alexis Carrel, future Nobel Prize in Medicine. In 1903 he went to Lourdes as a doctor on a sick train, after a colleague asked him to substitute for him. Carrel witnessed the healing of Maria Bailey, who suffered from tubercular peritonitis in the last stage. How I would like to believe, with all these wretches, that you are not only a chosen source created by our brains, O Virgin Mary? So heal this young lady, she has suffered too much. Make me live a little, make me believe, he had written shortly before in his diary. He was converted, and later recounted his experience in the book Journey to Lourdes. And, of Lourdes, the ultimate goal is heaven.